Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you to Roy and Mum Luang for organising not only this event but the other things they do for ASEAN in general. Many wonderful people have spoken today. I'm not one of them. We're from the private sector. Our interest in this technology, our interest in the business is an interest in profit. Our prime interest right now is in renewable energy. Today, while we were speaking, the oil price has crept up towards $82.50. Last year, I was buying oil futures at just over $40. In 1 year, on the back of the start of a recovery, the oil price has doubled. The coal price has gone through the roof. Uranium prices are increasing. The green or renewable energy business will take off by economics, simple economics. Even though it would be great if governments could, or we could change humanity, I don't think that's possible. The fact is, economics will lead us along this path. So what we do is we are investors. My friend Paul and I are partners, and we invest our own money into lots of these things, including Nia Power. We work with Robert and Jeffrey from New York, and we've worked on Nia Power extensively to restructure the company, to fund the company, and to bring production of these units to Thailand, because that will reduce the cost of the production of the units. So some of our research and development will also be brought to Thailand to keep the cost down. Thailand has some huge advantages in relation to that part of the business, overseen by technically gifted people like Chris. That development can, in the long term, become the future of energy. The fuel cell mix with the solar, remote standalone power stations, the integration of the hybrid fuel cell into the motor vehicle, are all things we're working on. As Dr. Nobel pointed out when he started speaking, 80% of energy is lost from the time it's produced to the time it's delivered. And we're doing some work on superconductors to cut that loss rate. With another company that Paul and I have personally funded, a company called AseanAffairs, we're working on hybrid motors, concentrated solar power, superconductors, and we've done some work, started to do some work on integrating the CSP installations with agricultural installations. The high-risk investments Paul and I generally take on ourselves, and what we do with Robert and Jeff is manage their fund things that run out of New York, and not with a lot of convincing, but with a number of conversations over the last 6 months, Paul and I have convinced Robert and Jeff to get behind a fund that will be called the Heffernan ASEAN Fund. We will seek to raise $1 billion. Lots of people say they seek to raise $1 billion, but they never get to raise it. This is a bit different. Of the 3 funds that are already in Heffernan, Verizon is a client for about $200 million in distressed real estate. Mr. Potter, who has moved, Mr. Potter and his Indian real estate investment, that's up to in excess of 40 million so far from one investor, and I think in total almost 200, including the Indian government. These guys, Robert and Jeff, run that. They can raise the money. Paul and I will back and support that in its early stages. So we are organised into performing a great deal of green work that has an economic basis. As we've seen today, 2 of the world's biggest companies, Bayer and Emerson, are here telling us about what they do in that sector. what they do in that sector is exceptionally good. They're very big companies. They do that to make money. And they're making money out of that sector now. As the technology gets better, the technology will be more widespread. There is no barrier to entry. The barrier to entry at the moment is cost. We have to be able to produce renewable energy in direct competition to oil and coal at a price that works. Once we can do that, then we no longer have a problem. Once we will do that, we will see slow degradation of the oil price, of the coal price, and we'll know that we've turned the corner in relation to reducing CO2 emissions. Should anybody have projects that need funding? If you're in Thailand, talk to Sunny. If you wish to talk to the Americans, Robert and Jeff are here for about the next week. Anyone wants to talk about fuel cell technology? Chris is here until Sunday. He's visiting the factory. Anyone who wants to talk about production? We own several factories here as well. Anyone who wants to talk about markets, which is probably the only thing Paul and I do, then you can talk to me or Paul. Thank you very much and enjoy the day.